I wanted to spend a bit of time stepping into the speculative future of marketing for a bit. I'm a big fan of sci-fi, so hopefully this doesn't like border on sci-fi too much, but I wanted to chat about just 10, 15 years into the future. Even like 5 years is really tough to do, but I want to paint a picture for a couple of like sci-fi based ideas here, and I'm curious to get your take on it. One of them you actually kind of teased out a little bit already. So imagine that budget meetings go from negotiating spend to negotiating compute allocation. So lots of smart folks, including Growth Group, are actually predicting that marketing is going to move away from specific discrete campaigns towards like continuous algorithmic ops. AI native marketing operation systems like are going to manage budget, creative, performance, cross department tasks, blah blah blah, and your budget meetings might actually involve more about negotiating compute allocation across the company rather than media spend. What do you think?
I think it's happening. It's on its
Mm,
way. I think it's in the not so distant future. I think this is why I encourage CMOs to make sure they understand this. The CMOs, they can manage a budget, have great teams to manage a budget. Do you understand what impacts compute costs? Maybe not yet. That's a big deal. I'm still learning this. This is an area I need to grow. It's a big deal. But I mean, I liked where you pushed before, both of you early in the conversation. We said, like, what percentage of the org will be agents? We'll see. Let's say it's 50%. That's their salary. Compute is your agent's
mhm.
salary. Are we actually, seeing the ROI of that efforts? And I like how you brought up the engine before, Growth Loop thinks in terms of the compound marketing engine, this iterative improvement. I think that's gonna be table stakes in this new world because the new sense of optimization isn't channel optimization, it's optimization of these agents and their output and the impact that they're having, and the way you get leverage is the speed in which that increases over time versus the spend you're spending to actually achieve those outcomes. So it's going to be interesting. We all need to learn. I need to learn. We these data cloud folks are going to be marketers' best friends. Get ready. Get a data cloud tutor fast because we need to learn this.
Yeah, it's actually a cool topic for upcoming episode there. Just wrote that down, like demystifying what compute actually means, the costs behind it. Because when we did the whole like package versus composable CDP series on the show, that was one thing that came up a lot in the arguments. Was like the cost of compute and zero copy data and blah blah blah. So yeah, I appreciate your thoughts there. The other one I had, Rebecca and Daryl, you can take the next one if you want, but this idea of like enterprise wide mesh of agents. One of the hardest areas for AI to take over, we kind of talked about this a little bit already, is like the collaboration and navigating internal politics within your companies. Some folks are actually predicting that at some point, agents are going to be smart enough to reason across functional domains and coordinate decisions across departments. And so it feels like a bit like far off into the future, but we talked about like marketing pods, and imagine they're no longer operating in isolation, but they will be part of this enterprise wide mesh of agents, and they manage pricing, inventory, logistics, customer comms concurrently. So instead of fighting and negotiating for priorities and resources and backlog and having all those meetings, imagine an agent that not just like assists your ad spend, but also realigns things like supply chain orders and finance support for a sudden campaign that you want to do in marketing. What are your thoughts there?
Oh, man. Well, that is definitely a future-centric view. Uh, my reaction to it, 1, I bet a lot of headaches will go away if that's
Mhm.
true. I mean, that's interesting, maybe. Is that good or bad? I'm not sure. Maybe the fact that there are headaches and that collaboration is a sign that it's really crucial to the organization, and thus you don't wanna delegate it. I don't know. Or maybe it'll bring harmony. That's interesting. So that's one thought. I really push myself to say believe the future is possible because doing that will help drive innovation, just having that mindset. And with that, and then caveat, making decisions across organizations, I'm gonna bet on making recommendations before making decisions. Maybe
Yeah.
they're the
Mm.
ultimate arbitrator. Like, that's great. You know what I mean? Like, oh, maybe that's what brings us the harmony. I'm speaking as an agent. What we recommend in this case is this in order for you to achieve this outcome, and it is the most objective recommendation you could get, so then the humans could make a subjective call, a judgment call, so maybe that. I like in pricing, my goodness, pricing is one of the most strategic levers of an organization. I can see great recommendations, but again, what about, like, risk-taking? Are agents gonna know when to take risks? I don't know. Acting maybe against the rules because it feels right for the customer, but isn't good for the business. Are agents gonna do that? There's a lot of decision making that is ultimately like, intentionally imperfect and thus human that I don't know if agents will learn that, and we still need that in business.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think of it like change management, and you're not going to have AI handle change management for you across an organization, but I do see AI helping the humans very much in improving how change is rolled out across the organization, you know? Um, because I think we can just even see that these examples in our personal life, and maybe you all kind of do that too. Like AI is not going to have a conversation with your partner or a conversation with your children for you, but it's going to give you some guidance on how to best navigate some of these conversations, and I'm really excited about that. But yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I don't think it's going to make those decisions. Um, I did want to talk about this one. I wrote my name down on this question because like I'm really curious about this one around the rise of machine customers, and for me it's like this new thing where agents are also making purchasing decisions and buying, and and it could be not only um at the consumer level but also the business level. And I'm really interested in how kind of you see that changing the way marketing is done. Does that change like the profession entirely? And like how does that change the way that we think about business strategies and approaching these kind of things? Maybe you could riff on that a little bit.
Yeah, 2 opinions there. First, I can't wait. As a consumer and as a busy professional and mom, I can't wait. That will
Mm.
be great. That will be great. I'm very pro that. I also am pro it because then what will make it through? We think like marketers. We're thinking in terms of how do we get our commercial gains? What will make it through? That agent is gonna be representing that person. It's going to say, "I will only let through what is going to serve my person best." So I think it will be a forcing function again to make marketing as in service of the person as best as possible. And I like that. I like that as a forcing function. So I think it's a great thing. We'll see what it looks like in reality, and how much consumers like relinquishing some control. Again, is it recommendations versus decisions? I'm not quite sure. Probably recommendations. All of it's going to be a recommendation phase. And I think it will be a good forcing function to keep marketers thinking in a customer centric way.
Yeah. I think that the fear becomes like, are many of the interactions between business and customer and business going to be agent talking to agent, and then they start to go in circles? You know,
Mm.
I wonder if I wonder if that's a fear. And like you said too, like, hey, I'm my AI agent is going to have it like vet all of the requests or all of the marketing coming into my inbox, but then marketers have an agent trying to circumvent all of those guards. So I think that that's the part that I kind of worry about. Do you worry about that too, or like it sounds like your take is more optimistic, and I'm all for that.
Well, first, I'm an optimist by nature. I nearly always be a discerning optimist. I think of the other side. My goodness, if I think of what I likely miss in my email, I bet there are actually good things I need
Yeah.
that I miss in my email because I don't have this service, this agent
Yeah.
supporting me. So I think it will, because right now I ignore out of just necessity. So I wonder if actually we'll bring forward, you might need this. This serves you based off of what I know about you and what you've said that you needed and so on and so forth. So we'll see. It's the matter of control. Can consumers relinquish some control in order to take the help?